So coming up, start the practice in downward facing dog. Slowly settling into downward facing dog, whichever your downward facing dog, but I advise you to come in with a slightly bended knee, so keeping that length, finding that length in your spine. Bringing your head, yes and no, so it's nice and relaxing between your arms. And then with knees bended, you may want to slowly bend a little bit more. You start to roll your heels toward one direction. This, in my case, I'm turning towards the right and feeling the nice stretch of the left side of the body. Keep lifting the left hips up towards the ceiling. And again, back to center. Heels rotating towards the left, and then lifting up the right hip bone up towards the ceiling, opening the side of the body. And again, coming back to center. And if you want to pedal dog on the spot, straighten one leg at a time, stretching the back of your body. One more breath here, inhale and out. And then pausing wherever you are on your next in-breath, start to roll up into plank. Now into plank, firmly pressing into your arms, lengthening your sit bone or the tailbone towards your heels, pressing into the heels nice and strong. I don't want you to dip down, neither I want you to be with a bum up. Okay, nice and long, lengthening towards the tailbone towards the heel. And back towards downward facing dog. And again on the next inhale, slowly rolling into plank. One breath here. And on your next exhale, you're releasing your knees down, elbows in towards the midline and lowering all the way down on your belly. Lengthening your legs, arms by your side, palms facing down, pressing at the top of the feet, squeezing your glutes gently, pressing in your pubic bone, and start to lift your shoulders up into half locust pose, looking up. So again, not crunching your neck, look down towards the top of the mat. And slowly lowering down, hands underneath your shoulders, lifting up yourself into hands and knees, tuck your toes under into downward facing dog. On the next in-breath, again, moving, rolling into plank, inhaling plank, knees down, exhaling, lowering all the way down. Leaving your hands where they are, lengthening your legs, inhaling cobra, elbows in, just forward. Exhaling, lower down. Inhale, come up, and into hands and knees, tuck your toes under, downward facing dog. Now from here, look up and start to walk, jump, or step forward. Inhaling at the top of the mat, halfway lift. Exhaling, softening your knees, folding over. Once again, hands onto your shins or on your thighs, open up, halfway lift. Nice and long spine, exhaling down. And next time, inhale once again. Bring your hands onto your hips, lowering your hips down, bending your knees more, nice and long spine. Arms forward, chair pose. And then lifting all the way up into standing. And hands to heart center on your exhale. Couple of some salutations just to find the rhythm of your breath. Inhaling, lifting arms up. Exhale, soft knees, fold it forward. Relax your head. Inhaling, halfway lift, nice and long spine, belly in towards the spine. Exhale, down. Inhaling all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center one more time. Inhaling, lifting arms up. Exhale, hinging forward. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhaling down. And then inhaling all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart center. We'll move on now, but start to build up. Inhaling, lift arms up. Exhale, fold it forward. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhale, down, stepping in downward facing dog. One or two steps, doesn't matter. And then lifting your left leg up towards the ceiling in three-legged dog. And from here, start to roll up into plank, keeping your left leg off the mat. And back into three-legged downward facing dog. And next time, bend your left leg and bring your left knee towards the left elbow. And again, back to three-legged dog. We'll do one more time. Bend your knee and bring your left knee towards the left armpit. Not necessarily go all the way. It might be halfway, whatever you are. And back to downward facing dog. This time look up and step your leg in between your hands. And we're going to come into high lunge. We're finding your stability here. Inhale and lifting your arms up. And then bring your arms to the side on your exhale. Strengthening the back of your leg. Inhale here. On exhale, start to rotate towards your bended knee. And think about your hip is going back towards the so you're squaring your hips here. And this is where we're targeting our rotational muscles here, strength here. And then the next inhale, back to center. And bring your hands back down onto the mat and stepping into downward facing dog. Inhale, come up into plank. Knees down, lowering all the way down on your mats. Lengthening up your legs, arms by your side. Inhaling, cat locust. And exhaling here. One more breath here. And on exhaling, lowering down, hands underneath your shoulders. Inhale, come up into cobra. Bending your knees, and on exhale, downward facing dog. One full breath in downward facing dog. And then lift your right leg up into three-legged dog. Coming up into plank with your one lifted leg. Nice and strong plank. Back to downward facing dog. Bend your knee and bring your right knee towards your right armpit. On your exhale. Inhale, three-legged dog, or leg up towards the ceiling. One more time. Your right knee towards the right elbow. Back to three-legged dog. And then step your right foot in between your hands. Finding your stability here. And coming up all the way into standing high lunge. Inhaling high lunge and arms by your side. And exhale again, twisting towards the bended knee. But again, not too far. Don't push yourself too far. Just warming up those rotational muscles here. Lengthening your tailbone. One more breath here. And then turning your torso back towards the front of the mat. And hands back down onto the mat. Stepping into downward facing dog. And then slowly on your next in-breath, start to roll up into plank. Knee down and lowering all the way down onto the mat. Straightening up your legs. And this time bringing your elbow underneath your shoulders. Interlacing your fingers. Pressing firmly into the mat. Elbows in towards your body. You can start to tuck your toes under. And then slowly start to roll, lifting your belly, lifting your hips, lifting your thighs, and the knees off the mat into forearm plank. Looking down at the top of your hands. Few breaths here. Again, I don't want you to sink down, and I don't want you to come into dolphin pose, kind of. So start to lengthening your tailbone towards the heel, pressing into the heels. One more breath. It's really working on the front of your core muscles here. And then slowly lowering your legs down. Lowering your thighs, your hips, your belly. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders and lifting up into hands and knees and downward facing dog. Few breaths in downward facing dog, lengthening or keep pressing your belly towards the spine. Nice and long spine. And then again, lift your right leg up towards the ceiling. And this time, bending your left knee, so heel towards the sit bones. Start to round your spine, coming up on the tiptoes of the right foot, and bringing your knee in towards the chest, and then rounding your spine, so your knee meeting your nose, kinda. And then again, straightening up into three-legged dog, and once again, rounding your spine here, and one full breath here, pressing your knee towards your face. And look up, and then step your leg in between your hands. Once again, coming up into high lunge and lifting your arms up. High lunge. This time, bringing your arms into cactus. Again, lengthening your tailbone. Think about squaring your hips. So squeezing in your inner thighs. Inhale here. And on exhaling, rotating towards the bent knee. Again, keep pressing that bone down. And you can release your back hand onto your hip and start to hinge forward and start to hover your elbow above your knee. One full breath here. Nice and strong belly. You're not resting onto your thigh. It's nice and strong here. And finally, bring your elbow outside your left knee or onto your knee. Keep pressing that left hip down towards the mat, so you're squaring your both hip bones, and then bring your hands together. One full breath here, opening up your chest, tucking your shoulders, pressing into the back of your heel, nice and strong legs here. One more breath. And slowly bring your hands down onto the mat and stepping downward facing dog. Slowly rolling up into plank, knees down and lowering all the way down. Straightening up your legs, once again, hands, elbows underneath your shoulders, interlacing your fingers. And then slowly start to tuck your toes under. We'll start to roll, lifting your belly, your thighs, your knees up into forearm plank. One full breath here. And then we'll start slowly lowering your knees down, thighs, your hips, hands underneath your shoulders. Inhaling, lifting into higher cobra. Bend your knees, exhale, downward facing dog. Inhaling in downward facing dog and fully exhale. On your next inhale, lifting your right leg up and again bending your right knee. Bring your right knee in towards the chest, rounding your spine, navel in towards the spine. Nice and strong body here, your core. And again, back to three-legged dog. And again, one more time, rounding here. One full breath, stay here, pressing firmly into your hands. And then look up and step your foot in between your hands. Coming up into high lunge, inhaling here. And arms into cactus. Nice and strong back leg, squaring your hip, squeezing in your thighs. And again, arms into cactus, inhaling here. And on exhale, start to turn your body towards your bended knee. And you can release your back hand onto your hip and start to hinge forward, hovering your elbow above the knee. One full breath. Do not round your body. Keep nice and long spine, strong back leg. And then bring your left elbow on the right knee or outside the right knee. And back hands together, stacking your shoulders nice and open, pressing firmly into the back of the heel, squeezing your inner thighs. One more full breath. And then slowly lowering hands down and stepping in downward facing dog. And then rolling back into plank. Knees down and coming all the way down. Straightening up your legs, arms by your side. Lifting up your chest, lifting up your arms, lifting up your legs. Locust, Shalabhasana. Stay here, keep breathing, don't hold your breath. And then slowly lowering your hands, your legs, your head down, hands underneath your shoulders, lifting up into cobra. Bend your knees, downward facing dog. On your exhale. From here, look up, step or jump forward. At the top of your mat, on inhale, lifting your halfway lift, lengthen your spine. Exhaling, folding over. Inhaling all the way up. And exhaling, hands to heart center. Now in the next flow, we're going to target the side of our core muscles here. So stay with me. Inhaling, lifting arms up. Exhale, fold and forward. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, down, stepping in downward facing dog. Now from downward facing dog, I want you to step your left leg halfway, turning your toes facing long edge of your mat. Okay. Now your right hand slightly forward, so it's forward your elbow, or your shoulder, and then turning your toes to the side, coming up into supported side plank. And I want you to not just stick your bum out, keep lengthening your whole body here and lifting up your heel. Nice and strong here, one breath. Now the neck either looking up, looking forward or down, whichever is comfortable. But I don't want you to stack over, so just protecting your shoulders here may not necessarily be bad if you do once, but it's better to get into habit of the better alignment. And then slowly bring your hand back down, turning towards the short edge of your mat and stepping into downward facing dog. From here, we're going to step on the other side. So right leg to the side, Turning your left foot. Now left hand slightly forward. And again, keeping pressing your sit bones in a nice long line and lifting up. Arms up into support, into side plank. One full breath here. Really focusing on this area. This is where the focus is. Don't want you to collapse here. And then slowly bring your hand down and stepping downward facing dog. Downward facing dog, rolling into plank. Releasing your knees down, this time coming up into one push-up only. Elbows in, halfway, coming up. Lift your knees off the mat into plank and downward facing dog. Once again, lift your left leg up and step your left foot halfway as we did before. And then toes pointing along the edge of your mat. Now again, hands a little bit forward. And again, turning to the side into side plank. But this time, I want you to lower your hip. Your right hip down towards the mat, arm forward. Now on your next inhale, lifting your hips up high as you can and arm over your head. And again, lowering on your exhale. Inhale, come up. It's a lot of pressure on your wrist and on your shoulder as well. Bear with me. And again, exhale. 2 more times. Inhale, lifting up nice and strong. Exhale down. Last time, inhale. Stretching up. Exhaling down. Inhale into neutral. Hand down, stepping into downward facing dog. One full breath, downward facing dog. We'll do the same on the other side. Right foot in halfway. Turning again. Position your hand. Turning it to the side. Arm to the side. Lowering your hip. And again, do not stuck your bum out. Inhale, lift your arms, stretching. Lift your hip up. Exhale, lower. In. Exhale, lower. Inhale. Exhale, lower. Last time. Inhale. Exhaling, lower. Coming back to neutral, hands down into downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, lowering your knees down, bringing your knees, we're going to come into child's pose, so if you wanted to bring as wide as your mat, and bring your toes together, and start to walk sitting towards the child pose, but bring your arms behind you, just relaxing your arms, releasing your arms here, and bring your forehead on the mat. If forehead is not accessible for your mat, can reach there, you can make a fist and just rest here. Just few breaths here. Relaxing your belly. Letting it drop, letting your shoulders relax down. And again, coming into your breath. Letting your breath to settle. Letting your heart rate to settle. We're not going to stay here for too long, as this is nice and short practice. Slowly pushing yourself back into seated. Now coming up onto hands and knees. It's one option to transition into seated position. So you cross your shins and start to walk back. And you do whoop, sit down. If it's not an option, do your own version coming into seated position. And the final, we're going to come in a boat pose, Navasana, which is a half boat pose. Again, bring your hands behind you, lengthen your spine, knees towards this, the chest, nice and long spine. Start to lean backwards and lifting your shin is parallel to the floor. You can stretch either into your heels or into your toes, whichever. I prefer heels, but that's whatever option is. Squeezing your inner thighs, nice and strong, firing up your belly. And bring your hands to heart center. Now we're going to start to lower your right heel towards the mat and turning towards the left. And on inhale, coming back to center, keeping parallel to the floor, and the other side. Inhale, come up. Exhale, the other side. Inhale, center, exhale, turn. Inhale, center, exhale, turn. Inhale, center, exhale, turn. One more side on each side. Inhale, center, exhale, turn. Inhale, center, exhale, turn. Inhale, center. Bring your feet down, arms behind you. And bring your hands behind you, so slightly leaning backwards, and your fingers pointing along the edge of your mat, feet about hip distance apart. When you're ready, inhaling, start to lift your hips up. Now, wherever you are, it's either here, could be as high as your knees or even higher. And on exhale, down. Again, inhale, come up. And exhaling down. Now, the neck, keep your neck where it's comfortable for you to keep. I like to look up towards the ceiling. And exhale down. 2 more times. Inhale, come up. And down. Last time. Inhale, come up. And lowering all the way down. Good. And then you may want to lower just to release your wrists, to lower onto your elbows. Feet about hip distance off your mat. Not the hip distance, but mat width. And then start to bring your knees from side to side. And then relax your belly here. Just little wipers from side to side. And then again, coming back to center. Propping yourself up back. One more time, we're going to come into Navasana or boat pose. Bring your arms behind your feet or legs. Lifting up slightly, leaning backwards. And this time, arms by your side. Inhaling here and on one exhale. On your next inhale, you can stay here or you start to lower down. And on exhale, back forward or into Navasana. And again, straight. And exhale. Inhale, straight. Half Navasana. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, straight. Exhale, Navasana. 2 more times. Inhale, straight. Exhale, Navasana. Last time. Inhale, straight. Exhale, Navasana. Bring your arms behind you, lowering your legs. Good. And lowering all the way down onto your backs. Arms by your side or slightly away from your body. You can turn your palms up towards the ceiling, allowing your shoulders to rest flat on your back. Keeping your lower back nice and your core engaged, but not completely flattening your belly. Okay, so keeping that nice natural curve here. And lifting your knees off the mat. Inhaling here. And on exhaling, we're turning your knees all the way towards the right. Into recline twist. And then stay here and then look over the opposite direction. And just softening here and keeping your both shoulders on the mat. Few breaths here. And again, resting, relaxing your belly. The work is done. We're just relaxing here. Allowing our body to unwind a bit. And then slowly start engaging your core back and lifting your knees off the mat, your feet off the mat, and then turning towards the other side on your exhale, and then looking over the opposite direction and letting your knees to fall all the way towards the mat, on the floor, letting that gravity to pull it down. If it's too much for you with your feet up, you can bring your knees down and then lower your feet down and then lower your knees down. Again, just work with your own body here. And again, soften. You can even close your eyes, softening your belly. Just enjoying that nice reclined stretch or twist. And then again, slowly coming back to center. Bring your knees in towards your chest, hug yourself in. And then straightening up your legs as wide as your mat. Your arms by your side. Just a couple of minutes in a Shavasana, just allowing your body to observe the whole practice. And just taking a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. One more deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Again, here allowing your face to relax, especially your jaw. Notice if it's still tense. Let it, give it permission to just unclench and relax. Your throat soften. Don't forget about your forehead. We're really keeping a lot of frowning there. So just soften the area in between your eyebrows. Let your arms relax by your side, your feet, your knees, your calf, or your thigh muscles, allowing those big hip bones just to spread apart. Noticing your belly, abdominal area. But just keeping that attention into this area. Let it soften here. On each inhale, allowing your belly to expand gently. And on exhale, maybe say to yourself, soften, let your belly soften down. A few more times like that, just letting your body to be soft and relaxed here. As this is your home practice, if you want to continue staying in that Shavasana relaxation position as long as you want. If that's enough for you, you can come up into seated, cross-legged. And just bring your hands to heart center. Thank for yourself for showing up, for caring for your body and your mind. And thank you for joining me. Namaste.